The average data breach takes 241 days to detect. That's 241 days an attacker has to move laterally, escalate privileges, and do real damage. Honey tokens cut that to about 5 seconds. Here's the idea: you plant fake credentials alongside your real ones. They look identical, they sit in the same secret store, but they have zero privileges. An attacker grabs them and tries to use them, and the moment they do, you're notified. They think they've got real keys, but what they've really done is tripped your alarm. Infisical just shipped honey tokens. In this video, I'll show you how to configure one, what happens when they're triggered, and how to manage them. So how exactly do honey tokens work? A honey token could be any kind of fake credential. It could be AWS keys, a database password, API tokens, anything that looks real but exists purely as a tripwire. Right now, Infisical supports AWS IAM credentials, so that's what we're going to use in this demo. Here's the mechanism. Infisical provisions a real IAM user in your AWS account with no privileges. It generates an access key for it, and then stores that access key as a secret in the project and environment that you choose. From the outside, it looks identical to any other AWS credential in your secret store. We watch CloudTrail for any API call made with that key. It doesn't matter what the call is, whether it's listing S3 buckets, fetching secrets from the secret store, even just calling getCallerIdentity. Any AWS operation that uses that credential trips the wire. The first time we see one, this token flips to triggered. Org admins get an email, and the event lands on the dashboard with the API call, the source IP, and the region. The IAM user has no permissions, so the call fails, but the attempt is the signal. Let's get one set up. Now, before we create honey tokens, Infisical needs a way to talk to your AWS account. It needs to be able to create and manage IAM users on your behalf. In Infisical, this kind of integration is called an app connection. There's also a CloudFormation stack we need to deploy. That's the piece that detects when a honey token credential has been used and then sends that event back to Infisical. We'll configure that one second. In the AWS console, I'm going to go to IAM, and I'm going to go to roles and create role up here at the top. Now for the trusted identity type, I'm going to choose AWS account, and I'm actually going to choose another AWS account. And here I will pull up Infisical's docs on honey tokens. So we've Googled Infisical Honey Tokens, we've gotten to our docs, and here we have prereqs: create an AWS app connection at the org level with the following IAM permissions. I'm going to click on AWS app connection because here on step 3, it says select another AWS account and provide our AWS account ID. I'm in the US region, back over to AWS. I put this for my another AWS account. Now I would also recommend enabling require external ID. And here we're going to paste in our Infisical organization ID. So if I go here, I can go to settings and copy this organization ID. And we'll paste that in. Now this is going to protect against the confused deputy problem. Basically, it makes sure that only your Infisical org can assume this role. All right, we'll click next. Next once again, and we'll give our role a name. I'm going to call it US Infisical Honey Tokens 2, and I'll create the role. Now we need to add the permissions that the role needs. I'm going to head back to the docs. And it says create an AWS app connection at the organization level with the following IAM permissions. I will copy this block of JSON, head back over to AWS. I'm going to click on my role. I'm going to click add permissions and create inline policy. I'm going to go with JSON, and here I'll paste that in. And I can click next. Policy name, we'll call it Infisical Honey Tokens 2, and I'll create the policy. Okay, so now Infisical will have this ability to create and manage IAM users in AWS. I'm going to copy this ARN. I'll head back to the Infisical dashboard. Here I click integrations on the left side and app connections, and I'm going to add an app connection. Method assumed role is fine, and the ARN, I'll copy it in here. Then I'll click connect to AWS. So that's it. The app connection is live. Now I'm going to make this CloudFormation stack. Now in Infisical, we're going to go to organization settings and product settings here on the left side. Now for our app connection, we'll choose our AWS app connection that we just created. We also have an auto-generated webhook signing key. This is the shared secret that AWS will use to sign trigger events on their way back to Infisical. This way we know that they're legitimate and not spoofed. We're going to leave this as is. And if we click next and advanced options, we see that this stack name defaults to Infisical Honey Tokens and it's in US East 1. We can override this if we want it elsewhere. We'll go ahead and click save. And this points at a CloudFormation template that Infisical hosts. It passes your webhook URL and your signing key in as parameters, and it uses this capability named IAM because the stack provisions named IAM resources in your account. Now we've copied this command. We're going to paste it into a shell with AWS credentials that can deploy this CloudFormation in our target account. And this is pretty quick. It takes about a minute. In order to check it, we can run this. Once we have create complete, we are done. So back in Infisical, I'm going to save this. and click Verify Connection. And we can see that our connection is deployed and healthy. It was verified. Note that Connect button now shows Manage. This is where you'd come back to rotate the signing key, swap out the app connection, or change the region or the stack name. Now that's one-time work. From here on, any project member with sufficient permission can plant honey tokens. So now I'm in a project, I'm in the prod environment, and I'm at root. And these are the real secrets that the app uses. I want to plant a decoy here. So if anyone were to break in and exfiltrate these secrets, the decoy would go along with it. So up here at the top right, I'm going to click Add Honey Token. I'll choose AWS. I'm going to confirm the environment is production, then our secret mappings. I named these keys exactly how AWS keys would be named in a real environment. AWS Access Key ID and AWS Secret Access Key. An attacker scanning the secret store wouldn't be able to tell the difference between these and any other AWS credential. I'm going to click Next. We'll give it a name, Prod AWS Honey. This is just an internal name for your dashboard and for your email alerts, so an attacker would never be able to actually see this. I can optionally give it a description, and after the description, I'll click Create Honey Token. Now, in physical provisions, the IAM user generates the key and writes secrets into the path, and this token now shows as active. Notice the decoy sits alongside real secrets. These sync to anywhere this folder syncs to as well. So GitHub Actions, Parameter Store, anywhere else, the decoy follows the real credentials. So what happens when our token is used? I'm going to act as an attacker who's grabbed these secrets and is poking at them. I'm going to copy this access key and secret ID out of the dashboard, and we're going to drop them into a shell. Grab our secret access key. Okay, so we've exported both of those. We will get caller identity. So now this attempt was logged. If I switch over to the browser dashboard and refresh the page, I can see that it now shows triggered. And if I click on View Details, this event log will show the IP address, action, get caller identity, the region. We've got a timestamp. And now in my email inbox, a email to every org admin with the same details, and then I have a link straight back here. That's the full loop. The credential is touched, the alert fires, and then detection happens in seconds. Now there are a couple more things worth showing. If a trigger turns out to be benign, a teammate was testing or misconfigured a scanner or something of that sort, I can go up here and click Reset. This will set that token status back to active and hide past events, and then email notifications are rearmed. If a trigger is real and you want it gone, you can click Revoke. We'll type in our name, prod, AWS, honey, and revoke. Now this deletes the IAM user and the access key in AWS, removes the decoy from the project, and then marks this token as revoked. And regarding the alert email, Infisical sends one email every 24 hours. So if you have a noisy attacker, you're not going to have your inbox flooded with emails. Every event still lands on this dashboard. That is honey tokens in Infisical. Plant one, forget about it, and the day somebody actually touches your production secrets, you know about it in seconds. If you're already on Infisical, an admin can wire up the AWS connection and you can start planting honey tokens today. All of the docs mentioned are linked below.